come on.
I'm just reading so many comments.
But so, you know, Restoration Gateway, we started off with just confusion about why are we here, what's our purpose. But then we really got to see this kind of our natural giftings come out, in that the biggest need that they had here wasn't, you know, building stuff, it wasn't, you know, evangelism and all this. They had, you know, people that were doing that, locals that were doing that. It was just training, discipleship, and really investing in the lives of these people and like raising up leaders and training them, which is just an area where our strengths really came out. And we just bonded to people in just a supernatural way. Like the first time we met Joseph, we actually met him on the roadside, and we just connected with him like that. And I mean, I would still call him a very, very close friend. He's an amazing guy.
He knows Brendan Hollingsworth, by the way. I found that out.
What?
Yeah. Sorry. Side note to Kitty. He knows Brendan Hollingsworth. I have to figure out how that's a connection.
So that was pretty neat. Yeah, we spent a lot of ministry time with. This is Joseph. I think I got a picture of Joel too. I think he's the next one. I had 2 roommates. Joseph, he's about my age. He made us a lot of amazing food, but he's a little crazy too. So yeah, you
love Joseph.
You can go to the next one. And my other roommate was a guy named Reverend Joel. This is Reverend Joel. Reverend Joel was 46, but had the maturity of a 2-year-old. He would just sit there all day long and just make jokes and crack himself up. That's what he did. So we had a blast as a result of that.
He was like a little puppy dog, and we'd be gone for 3 hours in Karuma, and we'd come home, and he'd be like, "Where were you? I was so lonely. Like I had no one to talk to." And I, for one, was just like, "What did you do for the first 46 years of your life?" I mean, really, like we've only been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But this is our Dr. T impression right here.
Oh yeah.
He liked Dr. T a lot.
We had a lot of fun with Dr. T. But so we had a lot of time with Joseph and Joel, just really speaking into their lives and really being ministered to by them. We had some amazing times. Like there was one night I know where we spent probably 2 or 3 hours just praying and worshiping. That was all we did. And one of the coolest things was we kind of developed an odd ministry here too at Restoration Gateway, because we were just making stuff up this whole trip as we went. We didn't have honestly, we didn't have a plan really, because no one had given us anything to do, so we just had to figure out what to do. And we ended up kind of developing almost sort of a nightclub worship, like our house. Just every night we would just have people over watching music videos, like eating dinner, dancing to Dr. T. And one of the coolest nights that was just absolutely incredible, and we had people that were, you know, that several people had mentioned that it's a night that they will never forget, was we invited a bunch of the workers over to our house. One of them in particular was a guy named Tycoon and his wife Kristen. Tycoon, just to give you background, he was in the Lord's Resistance Army. He was a rebel. So he's seen and done some bad things, but he's since come to the Lord and been totally redeemed. But he doesn't speak very good English, so nobody ever connects with Tycoon. He's a beast. He's kind of intimidating too. He's a beast of a man. Like he still hunts with a spear, even though he could go to the market. Like he will take down a Cape buffalo for dinner. Anyway, that's Tycoon. Yeah, we have a picture of Tycoon actually.
Slide, I think.
He brought us mushrooms one day.
The next day after the. Oh nope.
That was.
There he is.
Yeah, he brought us these mushrooms.
If
one
you
day.
zoom in, he's smiling, but he looks very intimidating.
So he was an intense guy, but nobody ever connected with him because his English wasn't good. And it turned out that, so we started, we were playing music all the time. We were basically like musicians as a ministry. And Tycoon, it turned out, loves music, absolutely loves it. He plays dungu, which is a native instrument there. And so we had him and his wife over, and a guy that was living with them, and all of our roommates, and this crazy fireball of a pastor named Winnie, different story entirely, had her over. And we had a night of just like prayer and worship. And what was amazing, we started worshiping, and the song Jireh is one that came up and became a theme for our trip. And this whole house of people just started dancing. Everybody just started dancing around. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And there was another short-term team across the way at one of the orphan homes that had even come over. So they'd heard it, just poked their heads in the door, so came in and joined us and started dancing. Unfortunately, we woke up the orphans. That was a downside. But we did. Sorry.
Sure we did.
Yeah,
most people go to bed there at like 8 because that's when it gets dark. So when we stayed up till 11 every night doing singing and worship, it was
So after that night where we just had this massive dance party and worship time, Tycoon brought us these mushrooms just because I think we were like the only people who had actually attempted to make friends with him. Like I walked over to his house actually and hung out for a while.
He smiled a lot while we were singing and dancing. Like that was how we could talk to him.
Yeah, exactly. That was our way of communicating with him and loving on him. And so we ended up developing a music ministry even at Restoration Gateway as well. Just couldn't get away from it. And then I'll be sure about William and Gloria.
One of the other most significant relationships that we formed with the workers was with this guy named William. And he is married to another young girl named Gloria. That's not her. We don't have a picture of Gloria, unfortunately. But that guy in the green shirt is William. And he's the same age as me. He's 24. He has 2 young children, the youngest of which is named after one of the missionaries. And his job at Restoration Gateway, Yeah, he's on the security team that will, walk the grounds at night, make sure everything's safe and keep trespassers away and all that stuff. And he is someone that we just met on the very first day we arrived at Restoration Gateway, bonded instantaneously with him, and then just did a lot all throughout the rest of our time there. And coming back from Gulu and the things that were going on in Karuma, both of us we're just really seeing this need of discipleship. And the missionaries that are there long term just kept saying, it's really far for the people to come to our church on Sunday. They can't walk that far. What we need to have is house groups meeting in these different villages. We need leaders to rise up among the people and train and disciple and lead all the other people in northern Uganda. And the thing is that, those workers are few. They are really lacking people to do that. And so Scott and I, and talking with the missionaries and then just praying, really felt like that was something that we could help with. And that was kind of where our natural giftings came in. And so we both felt very impressed by the Lord to invest in William and his wife, because we just saw tremendous leadership already in him, but just really seeing this greater vision of just like the Lord's going to use him in even bigger ways than how he already is. So we asked William one day, we just said, hey, we'd like to talk to you. We see this in you. Just could we spend some time together? And so he invited us to his hut, and his wife cooked us some chicken, and we sat in his hut one afternoon and visited with him and his wife and his kids, and listened to his story of how he was saved. William is that person that Scott was saying, the happiest guy you'd ever meet, so friendly, so loving, just caring, and his family was the one that was really affected by the LRA, one of the many people there, but his father was the one that was killed in front of them one day when he was about 6 years old. The LRA just came and they took all of their belongings from their house and took the father out, and to intimidate all the other people, they killed him right in front of the family. And so, hearing William tell about his life was so hard, but at the same time it was just so encouraging, because you can just see how much the Lord really does heal the brokenhearted and restores people. And it doesn't change the sadness of that situation, but there is redemption and healing and restoration in that. And that word restoration just kept coming up. I mean, it's the name of the place that we're staying for a reason. That was given to the missionaries, and we just saw it over and over again in northern Uganda, because literally no one there is untouched by the war and all the just spiritual darkness that is there. And so we talked with William, and we had brought some materials as far as like to take to other people and help with training tools and discipleship. And we kind of walked him through some of that, and we talked about the concept of house churches and building up the people. And then at one point in the material we had, it mentioned a bridge illustration, and Scott goes, well, William, do you know, are you familiar with this? And William's like, I think I am, and he whipped off one of those blocks. You may have seen them. He whipped off one of those blocks where they have the pictures that walk you through the gospel, basically, and you just turn the block and it shows the pictures, and it leads someone through that as you talk and illustrates. And so William just starts going at it, and he walks us through the gospel with his tool that he already uses. And it was just it was impactful to me. I don't know if you felt this way. Just seeing how the Lord is already training his people there. That's not something that we gave to him, but we definitely, wanted to come in and encourage him to keep doing what he's already doing, and just say, William, the Lord's hand is over you. You are going to be used in mighty ways, and